Start at 7 o'clock. First thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next agenda. Next is the approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Fast, seconded by Mr. Mashinsky to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the approval of claims.
Make a motion we approve the claims.
Second the motion.
Motion made by Mr. Mashinsky, seconded by Mr. Fath to approve the claims. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Fath?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. What the claims are, for our friend from South Central, what the claims are is the money we have spent the last month since our last meeting. You know, the claims, each expenditure has a claim voucher, we sign that, and then we also approve them. So that's what that is. Utilities, MCO.
Go through the report fairly briefly. The fire hydrant down by the street department, it has been moved, and the old water main has been removed from the system. Adam and Butch had a lot of fun doing that. Yeah, it was a really easy job. But that we're all on the new water main now, so it's all nice. Item 2 and 3 should actually be under wastewater, but I'll just go in order. Everpar was on site to service all the generators. That day they serviced the wastewater treatment plant generator, and then we went on to do the other ones, and I noticed the gen had shut off without a cool down period. So we looked at the unit, and it was experiencing an unexpected shutdown alarm, which is typically not good for those units. I called the tech. He came out. He was at one of the new normal generators servicing it. He fired it up, and sparks started flying out of the generator end of it. I had talked to John Sturgill. He didn't think it was under warranty anymore, so we had Everpar bring a spare unit in to hook up, because we're pretty much dead in the water without the generator. So Everpar came, hooked it up that same day. We got a generator. We had emergency power hooked up then. They had called Caterpillar because it's a cat gen. And cat is McAllister's a cat rep. And apparently they did find that it was still under warranty. So I found it took about 3 or 4 days for them to actually determine it was under warranty. Then it took them another 3 or 4 days to come up, look at it, and determine that they would cover it under warranty. So it took actually it was about 2 weeks before we finally got notified that it was actually going to be covered under warranty. Part of the deal was they would give up to $5,000 towards a rental unit, but it had to be their rental unit. So we called Everpar up, said, come get your unit, so we'll have to pay for that part of it, and then they will pay for a month of McAllister's rental unit. McAllister's was a little more money, but we're hoping they're going to get this thing fixed within a month. Last I talked to them was last week. They pulled it out. I think it was Thursday. They were going to look whether they were going to put a whole new gen end on it, which is an alternator, or they're going to just have the one that will out rewound. I haven't heard what they're going to do, but they are. It will get repaired. We'll be out. I'm guessing Everpar's bill is going to be probably around $3,000 for the rental for that. When they were out, we also had Everpar come back out and replace 2 of the block heaters in the new Durham generators. One had failed. The one at South Coast also had failed a week before that. And I just had to replace the other one because I figured it's going to go to It's not super critical, this type of weather, but when you get that sub-zero weather, you're going to need to have a block heater in the unit. The GIS is proceeding fairly well. The command did complete the base map of the sanitary sewer system. They're working on the water system map now. The one problem that they ran into is the town's base map that they used does not have pipe sizes for the sanitary sewer. So we're going to, I think, I ran across a couple base maps that did have some sizing on it. I think we'll be able to get most of that information. If not, then we'll have to get Bryce and Adam and Brett and myself, whoever we go out there, just start verifying some pipe sizes if we need to. But I think most of the newer subdivisions will have it on it, so. Midco diving was on site. They actually scuba dive and you actually get in the tank and inspect it. They actually clean the sediment that's on the bottom of the bowl of the water tower. They were in and they said they'll have a report to us probably it's going to be almost 4 to 6 weeks from now. There were quite a few blisters where the paint was blistering and we were starting to see corrosion on the inside of the tank. I talked to Tom and I talked to Tim Braun with the command, and they have a compound they can put on there. It was $800 more. We just had them do it. Hopefully slow the corrosion down by a little bit of time, but their recommendation is going to be that the tower should be painted. It's almost 20 years. It's the paint job will last its useful life, so it's something that will need to be done. I would suggest if we decide to paint it, we do that before we do something with the small tower, because we can still use the small tower during that painting process. That's something we'll need to look into when it gets closer to do that. Adam found a leak back behind Buchanan Steel. There's a 2-inch water service that actually serves the two, I think it was the old Matlack truck tank wash in the other building. It's kind of goofy why they did what they did, but that's how it's set up. It looks like they've got two services off this 2-inch main. It appeared it was a steel main. It looked like almost like a Schedule 80 steel pipe. It got repaired, but it's tough with that water main back there. It's just not a good situation. And if, I would say eventually if we do some upgrades and some the future plans, we should probably get that water main out of there and get it along the highway, in a long-term planning. It was a steel main. We did find Lacrosse had a repair plant that we went and got that actually fitted. So wastewater plant, the north clarifier is still a problem. We've spent literally weeks, I think, of time messing with this thing. I'm starting to get really frustrated with it. We had to refill it. We had to refill the thing today because you can't drain it, so we got to keep water in it and keep water moving in it. But the thing won't run, so we can't operate it. So we just keep a pump just to keep water recirculating through it. We had the sales rep on site. He looked at it. I climbed up in the cage of the thing, and he looked at it, gave his opinion what was wrong with it. I think it was 3 weeks ago, the clarifier rep, the guy from Clearstream, actually came out. He was in Detroit, rented a car, came down and looked at it. He gave his opinion on what the problem was. We looked at it, took the top drive off, and determined his opinion was not right. And it's a planetary, it's a slow moving gear that causes it, that allows the thing to rotate. We had Einigman from, I think they're from South Holland, or they're over in South Chicago area. He's a pretty good gas Voda and Superior Pump. A lot of those places use him to rebuild their drives for them. So I consider him probably an expert on it. He came out and looked at it. We pulled the top off. we pushed the thing around to see what the problem was in the reducer. And his feeling is the thing needs to be taken out and rebuilt. The problem with that drive is, and the way that they designed this thing, is we cannot take that drive out unless we remove the entire walkway and the deck, and everything's got to come off of that. Because the width, they put a retainer ring around the one spindle, and we can't lift it out and get that thing off without taking everything apart. It is a horrible design. I frankly don't know what they were thinking when they did it. So anyway, that's what we're looking to do. Apparently, Tom just said that they're talking, what my original idea was is to get a new drive in, have them come out, do all this stuff they have to do, take the old one out, and slap the new one in at the same time that they're there, and then we'll just get the other one rebuilt. Apparently, it sounds like it's 12 weeks
Yeah, that's what it looked like indeed.
delivery on that, which personally I think is ridiculous. I will put some choice words in an email and see what, I probably won't get anything out of it, but, so we have a gas quotas coming out, I think Thursday, to look at it and see what they can do. Superior Pumping said something about doing it, and I just don't think I really don't think they're set up for that. And if Gas Voda can do it, it'll be more cost effective than if we would have Gasco Walt, somebody like that come out. That'll be, I mean, it'll be in the tens of thousands of dollars to just tear it apart and put it back. I wouldn't be surprised if it'd be $50,000 to repair it. So just from what I see. So McMahon's involved. Tom's copying Tom on the emails. I'm very frustrated with this part of the thing. So, one of the raw sewage pumps is pumping a little less. I'm not too worried about it. The impeller is worn. That's what's causing it, but it's still well ahead of really what we need. The pump for Nash Finish it was ordered. I talked to Andy Beeson with Gas Order today, so to check and see when delivery is on it. We did finally have the aerators lubricated in the oxidation ditch at the wastewater treatment plant. That wasn't a bat on this. We had to actually put a boat in the thing and get in there and float around and grease these things.
Kind of like the tiny bolt.
It was me as I was a fat guy in this little life vest there in this little 12-foot boat.
Anybody get pictures?
Yeah, Brad did actually take some. The problem is getting underneath those walkways was really interesting. But, it took us several hours to do it. So. The sludge sampling, we did complete that. Hopefully get the results back today. Because we're getting pretty full with sludge. So I talked to the lab today. They thought the results would be in tomorrow. And we did lose another hard drive again at the wastewater plant. That's like number 9. So why, I don't know.
Did Brainstorm have any idea on why, or?
He is completely,
Yeah.
he says he's never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So they're putting static ones in now.
Let's see how it looks.
And he says, hopefully those will be fine. But he says, you know, big companies, he said you might lose one every 5 or 10 years. It's never heard of this thing. And it's not just the computers, it's the backup drives and everything else.
And we got surge protection. What?
Yeah, they've all got, auxiliary power units. So, I mean, they're really off of the,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. So, and I mean, these are the ones that we just replaced, 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think other than that, any questions?
We got one other thing on the agenda, and it's the, Adam brought in a utility supply a week or 2 ago. Right now, you want to give a quick update on it, Adam, or kind of what the you have a meter right now.
Oh, yeah, our handheld has been refurbished several times, I think, at least once, and every time it's refurbished, it works for a little while and it peters out, so, these computer products are not built for longevity. We got 10 years out of it from what I understand, so the next step would be not buying another handheld, but another device that would operate with cell phones or tablets or the way the future's going, so. Yeah, I spent some time with Ben and Aaron before the meeting that we had, and I like what they presented me. It's pretty easy. Anybody can do it, so we'll get the whole crew trained on all the devices, and you can do it with the phone, you can do it with the tablet, probably phone is the cheapest way to do it. So we haven't purchased anything other than with the quote device. So, yeah, and we met here at TownHall, so last 2 Mondays ago, I think it was.
Yeah, and basically the device or the handheld we have right now, we could purchase a new one and they're $7,500. But once Windows 10 they're not updating it past Windows 10. So once Windows does their update, our device, we can repair it up until it doesn't work anymore, but we won't be able to get the product unless we buy something used or refurbished from there. They're pushing everyone to the Amazon Web Services, so everything's on cloud-based. We can't really shop around. We have Neptune meters installed throughout town, so we have to stay with Neptune's product. And basically, they're saying that they'll cover the software, part of the cost for getting everything installed now if we do it now. So instead of paying $7,500 for a new handheld that's going to be obsolete in a year or two, they're recommending that we buy an $8,500 handheld, and then they give us a belt clip as well, right?
Belt clip for free, yes.
For free, and then they waive the setup cost, and then we would just have our annual fee of $3,500 a year. Right now, we have an annual fee of $2,000 a year, but the $3,500 is to make it all cloud-based. And then the information is accessible on your
It would
tablet
work
or
with our
phone.
GSI also, so it'd be a double whammy there, so.
Right now, you have to come to the office to access all the data.
Yeah.
So the new AWS, you can access it on your computers at the water plant.
Anywhere the file is set.
Your phone.
Right.
So we're going to be pushed to it eventually, I guess.
Yeah.
We should do it now rather than spend money on it.
Yeah, because if our handheld goes kapoots in years,
We
we're
have
out
to go
$7,500.
another municipality, and that might be even a nightmare.
With that, I'd like to make a motion that we purchase the $8,500 handheld from Utility Supply and have that taken out of the water and sewer op, new equipment and machine fund. And then with the software, have that split out of water op and sewer op rental and service agreements. And then there's also a $500 update, one-time update to our Keystone software, which is our billing software. And we can, what do you recommend for that, Lori?
The fees.
The fees? Okay. And that's to be split between water and sewer out fees.
Okay. I will second the motion. So we have a motion made by Mr. Bass, second by Albert, to purchase from Utility Supply, the reader, the current software, and also approve the upgrade for the billing for the clerk's office to be split up, as Tom said. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Prforski?
Yes.
Mr. Paszynski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Anything on utilities?
Yeah, that's it. And I I know Nathan's been working really hard on that Clarifier. I went out there and looked at it too. It's a tough situation, and he's been working hard to pull people in to get something resolved. He's reached out to several resources to get that handled, so definitely been pushing on that, so hopefully it's resolved.
Very frustrating.
You know all you want to know about clarifiers, right?
Way too much.
Anything on streets, Jim?
Yeah, we're closing out the streets for this community crossing grant this month, here, get everything in line. Most of the project's done. We are going to add to our contract clause that next year's paving, whoever gets, that they'll have flaggers, and that we will have a copy of the streets as they're going to do in order. Last year we did. They didn't give us anything this year. We just kind of...
They closed 2 streets.
And then they
up.
close them out at the same time, so, yeah, that's not...
Yeah, it wasn't-
So that's going to be part of in the contract. And we're getting the asset management plan sent down to Purdue. That's the state's for next year. Once that's updated in January, we'll put a new file for another crossing grant between January 6th and the 31st, I think it is. And once we get that process, it'll probably be late summer, do some other roads. That's all I got.
Okay, thanks. Anything else on the streets from anybody? Parks? Oh, the 30th, which is the last Saturday of the month,
Oh, tree lighting.
the tree lighting, the fire department auxiliary, I think they sponsor that right now, is having the tree lighting at 5 o'clock at Prairie Meadow. And they light the tree, and then there's some ground decorations, I guess, for lack of a better name. I know there's a fire truck, and we got a police car one, and stuff like that, so.
Decorations, cookies and donuts.
Okay, so that will be the 30th at 5, and if we can put it on our website to get it out, please, if you would, please. And it will be warm weather that night too, right? I don't know. Yeah. I think last year it was pretty nice when we had the lighting, it wasn't too bad. Police.
For the month of October, we had 573 total calls for service. 29 of those were assist other agency. We had 90 traffic stops, 8 crash reports, 9 ordinance violations, and we served 1 warrant. The other thing I had on the agenda was the Crown Vic. I had one person interested in the Crown Vic and the extra set of wheels. He offered $300. It doesn't run. We have no idea what's wrong with it. If you guys are okay with it, I just assume get rid of it.
Have to advertise it because it was, you looked at and appraised under $1,000, so it doesn't have to be advertised.
Okay.
It could be a private sale.
I'll make a motion that we sell the Crown Vic for $300 then. We
Yeah,
have somebody.
With the wheels on.
With the wheels.
Yeah.
They won't have to drag it home.
Yeah, they're gonna have to tow it or jump it. And Jim already touched base. I had paving on under mine, and Jim already took care of that. Reeve Riley just came in and pretty much shut everything down.
Yeah.
If it wasn't just us though, it was the entire county. The same time they were paving us, the sheriff's department was getting called everywhere to direct traffic for Reeve and Riley. So,
They shut our dig down.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't do anything with the clarifier.
It's their fault.
We got a motion to sell the vehicle. Any discussion? All right, I made it. Regina seconded.
Second.
So any discussion? Mrs. Riddell, Mrs. DeForest,
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky.
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff.
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 3-0, or 5-0. Okay, anything else on police? You got your movie nights coming up here at the...
January, I got the licensing information, I got a contact from the school, and I'm working on the licensing information so we can show the movies and not get fined. And other than that, getting ready to place an order for some more equipment for the park, for Blue Line Park, and I still have one grant that's pending that, if that comes through, then we'll be 100% of our goal. We're sitting at about 80,000 right now. I'm not gonna order the equipment until this garage is done, because I've already got a pack full of equipment. And if I give him anything else, he's probably gonna kill me. So I'll wait till our garage is built so we can store it in there. For the grant that I applied for through JAG, I had to list the grand opening as June of 2020. Part of the grant requirement is that you host a grand opening. So June of 2020 is the goal.
Okay, excellent. Anything on police, Regina? Anything? Okay, next, finance. We have the Baker Tilly agreement. This is, if you recall, in the State Board of Accounts audit, we have to do asset tracking and keeping track of the value of the assets and depreciation, everything. Baker Tilly is the old Umbaugh Associates, who probably has done 99% of rate studies in Indiana in the last 40 years. So we have a contract from them. Lori, anything you want to?
So Jeff Rao is going to be helping us do this, and he said, I kind of asked him about what our part could be, and he said as long as we can keep the price really inexpensive, if we as a department heads do all the legwork. So I will be asking Darren and Bubba to meet with me to kind of just get a list of everybody's capital assets and all the information that they're going to need for every single thing. And he did say McMahon would be able to help with the plans.
Yeah, the sewage plant, because everything's new, so.
Right, so they should have that information. But the more legwork we do, the less that is.
Okay.
That less cost that is.
It's not to exceed 7,500 for the,
Yep.
for the inventory, and then the ledger is not to exceed 5, so.
I'm going to try to keep that way under there.
That's right. I'll make a motion that we enter into this agreement with Baker Tilly.
Second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Pfaff to enter in the agreement with Baker Tilly for the asset inventory work. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next is the employee health insurance. Gina and I reviewed the rates and everything. It's approximately an 8% increase over last year, which was pretty good. We've gotten hit higher than that. Same plan, which year to year it's a crapshoot if they're going to keep offering that same plan.
There was a few adjustments because they
changed the deductibles,
the
co-pays,
They did go up.
they went up, but it's affordable for us, so, and the employees too. So I will make a motion that we continue the plan that we have for 2020.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mrs. Riddell to continue our health insurance plan that we currently have for the year 2020. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Anything else on finance? Next miscellaneous, we have resolution 2019-2, which is town holidays, which for next year are New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, the election day for the general election and the primary. That's only in years that we have elections, which next year will be an election year. Good Friday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, and the day after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and any other days is defined by the town council. If the holiday falls on Sunday, the following Monday will be the legal holiday, and if it falls on Saturday, the preceding Friday shall be the legal holiday. In the event Christmas falls on Saturday, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day holidays will be observed on Thursday and Friday. This pretty much follows the state and federal guidelines for the holidays. So I will make a motion that we adopt resolution 2019-2, the holiday resolution. Albert made the motion, second by Mrs. Riddell. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. Next, resolution 2019-3, transfer of funds. Transfer $800 from appropriation 101-200-221 fuel general fund to appropriation 101-200-324 phone general fund, and transfer $500 from appropriation 201-00-1210 office supplies MVH to appropriation 201-001-361 repairs and maintenance MVH fund. I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 2019-3.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Pshinski. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pshinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. Okay, we have a amended salary ordinance 2019-7. The only thing that changes is there was a disparity between the clerk, what level was that, Lori? Level B between water and sewer. So this ordinance makes them the same hourly rate, so it matches up. So I'll read it by title only. Ordinance 2019-7, an ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Westville, LaPorte County, Indiana, amending Ordinance 2019-6 entitled Salary Orders for the year 2020. I will make a motion that we approve 2019-7 on the first reading.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Pfaff to approve ordinance 2019-7 on the first reading. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pshinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, it passes 5-0. I'll make the motion that we suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2019-7.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pfaff to suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2019-7. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pshinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. What we just did on the ordinance is normally an ordinance you read it 1 month and then vote on the next. Certain ordinances by law you have to do that. But this, we suspended the rules and adopted it tonight. We did it all tonight, so it's taken care of. It's kind of an ordinance. It's just a housekeeping ordinance, basically, is what we did on this one. So that's why. And Jill is going to test you on that too. Anything else come before the council? Do our people from South Central have any questions about anything? What we did or anything? Thanks for coming out tonight. We need to sign your proof that you were here. Okay. There being no citizens' comment or anything else coming before the council, I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pshinski to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? There being none, meeting adjourned at 7:33.